Welcome, ladles and jelly spoons and all other non-binary kitchen utensils. This is the Gravy Wheels Podcast, and I'm your host, Hova.
I'm Andrew, and I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
And I'm Frank, and I know the difference between a lady and a ladle.
Haha! Wow.
Take 5.
Yeah, so I think Andrew should first explain. I mean, you did say on vacation, but...
Oh yeah, I'm out of the city, so that's why this is not the same, this whole stitch. But I'm basically in an attic, so we're gonna do an armpit check now. We're gonna see how this looks. Just a little bit, not much going on. But by the end, it's gonna be a whole different scene down there. It's gonna be a whole ecosystem.
I'm also in an attic. I don't know if you've ever noticed. Mine's a little more finished, maybe. I guess a little less rustic. Also, I've got a new setup that took me all of 7 or 8 minutes to set up. So I hope that was worth it. I hope everybody's happy. That Wii U sign.
Nice.
No one else has that. Okay. That's yeah. Mucho swag.
Those are all scrap.
Dude, one day that's gonna be worth. Like any new Nintendo signage. Gonna be worth some money one day. I know it's the Wii U. It might not be the most popular console of all time, but
Well, think about it. It'll be like having Virtual Boy shit.
It'll be like the really weird, obsolete stuff that no one would have because it wasn't popular at the time. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
If you could get a
LEDs,
Nokia Engage sign. If you could get a Nokia Engage sign to go next to it, that would be something.
The fucking taco.
I'm gonna work on
That's
that.
right.
I'm gonna see what I can
That's
make happen.
talking.
Dude, I want one. I really do.
Did you guys see anything cool on your way from New York to where you're at? You guys pretty much just booked it?
Pretty much just booked it. We stayed a night in Madison, Wisconsin. But yeah, it was mostly just like kind of ducking in and out of rest stops and shit. And I was trying to see how many people I spotted like wearing masks and like taking, the whole state of the world seriously. And not enough for my liking.
So you guys made it out there pretty quick though, which is kind of ironic because the day that you guys left, President Trump put out a tweet about 2 people who had vandalized a statue in New York. And then all of a sudden you guys are gone out of state. It's kind
Fleeing
of
the scene.
Coincidence? I don't know.
I think maybe.
No, you can't prove shit.
Good point. Touche. Yeah, I think the farther you get from the coast, and maybe I'm just totally wrong about this, but I feel like the more Midwest you get, the less care there is for the mask situation. I was actually pretty surprised. I was in Warrensburg, and I went to go to the Salvation Army, and they're actually enforced. I think you could only have like 6 people in at a time or something, so like I couldn't even get in because there was already that many people. And then I went to, I might have mentioned this already, I don't remember, but I tried like right down. It's like on the same block is Rockin' Sports, the game store, and he was only letting 1 person in at a time. I was so thrown off because in Sedalia, no one's doing anything. No one cares at all in Sedalia. You go into Walmart, you see like 2 people that have a mask on, maybe. No one gives a shit at all in Sedalia, but like surrounding cities are taking it way more serious, and it's just weird to me. The only thing I could think is maybe because it's a college town, so you've got that younger crowd that's like less boomer.
Yeah, people who are actually like paying attention.
Right. Yeah, people that aren't just only on Facebook, paying attention to the shared Trump memes.
People who aren't just waiting to die.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know, man. It's pretty bad. Then again, I mean, the cases in our county are pretty low. So I think there's like 100 cases to a population of, I think there's like 40,000 people in Pettis County, something like that. I don't know. But it's probably going to get worse.
Good luck. Yeah, it'll definitely get worse. I mean, it's kind of, I think, new. I felt like I knew this was going to happen, that it was just going to get totally fucked when people were starting to open up again.
Yeah, as soon as they like let up on all the bans, it's like, well, how long until this starts again?
Exactly.
It's not like it's just going to go away overnight as much as we'd all love for it to.
No, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
But anyways, off of negative subjects, we all just got done playing a little game called Hyperscape, a new three-man squad battle royale game developed by Ubisoft Montreal. I believe we were looking at the website earlier, and that's who developed it. And much good in my opinion. I was kind of I played about a week ago. It was first available tonight to the public. Well, I mean, I guess it's still technically a closed beta, but you can get drops for watching Twitch streams and stuff. And I'm lucky enough to be like a founder or something, which means that I might have like more opportunities to be a part of the game early on and stuff. And I was able to get 2 keys, friends and family invites or something. I don't know what they were called, for Frank and Andrew here. And we got to play a little bit this morning. And myself personally, I much enjoy. I think it's nice. I like when a fresh spin on Battle Royale comes out, and it doesn't happen very often anymore. But when it does, it's nice and refreshing, and this is definitely a little bit different, I would say.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to play. It's pretty similar, I would say, it'd feel to Apex Legends. I mean, it's of course like different, it's its own thing, but
yeah,
if you had to pick one of the sort of like current crop of BRs to compare it against, I think that's the most obvious comparison.
Right. Yeah.
But it has elements. It has like hero shooter elements. And it has I forgot what else I was gonna say. But yeah, it's a
little bit like
pretty fun.
I always think like Quake Arena, like Quake, I guess more specifically. Just got that, that there's a lot of verticality to it, high jumps and the low grav mode and everything. The only thing that I think it's missing, I think it's really odd that there's not like a railgun of some sort, Like I know there's the sniper, but just more of like a railgun. Like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You mean like something that can shoot through surfaces?
Yeah, or just like an instant hit, like laser gun, high damage. Like I said, I know there's the sniper, but I feel like that's just a sniper, not necessarily a railgun.
And that one plasma gun, I mean, it's not like a railgun, but I think that's like the most damage.
Is that the one that has kind of
without upgrading it? The 3. Oh, it shoots like a plasma ball. It's kind of slow.
But it's essentially a grenade or a rocket launcher, though. Like that's the one weird thing about the game, that it's like there's what was it called, I don't know, there's like an actual grenade launcher where it shoots like cartridges, like grenades that bounce, and then there's that one that Frank's talking about, the 3 I wish I could remember any of the weapon names right now. Has got like the 3
the Komodo.
The Komodo is another, like, the Komodo is an instant
bouncy grenade launcher.
Not the Komodo. The Komodo detonates on impact. The other one is the one that bounces, the one that I was first mentioning. And then the plasma ball one is like a really slow trajectory, but also detonates on impact. Pretty big splash damage. So I would call that more of like a rocket launcher. And then I think there's like one more that has like an area of effect, shoots like little plasma balls, and they're a little bit faster.
That's the Komodo. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Is that the Komodo? Okay.
The Komodo is the one that shoots the like red plasma balls that have a sort of knockback effect.
Okay, so there's at least 3, if not 4, like essentially rocket launchers and grenade launchers, which I think is kind of odd. And then it's just like an LMG and an assault rifle and pistols.
But it's nice to see a battle royale where there are a lot of accessible weapons that are usable for people who have shit aim, like myself.
Right.
So like all those weapons that deal splash damage, there's also a pistol that has basically it gives you a wide field, and anybody in the field it targets for you automatically.
So is that the the D-pad or whatever? What's it called?
Is it the D-tap? Yeah. D-tap?
Yeah.
Is that the double tap, the D-tap?
Yeah. So it's super weak, but you can just kind of hound somebody with it with very little effort.
So that's what Orange was trying to tell me, and I was like, I don't believe you. I was making fun of Andrew whenever he was picking up that thing. I haven't tried it, but he was saying it's pretty good.
It only does like 5 or 6 damage a hit. It's really low damage, but it's so low effort.
But he was saying that like it's not single fire. You can just hold it down. Is it fully auto?
Oh, maybe I didn't even notice that.
You might want to try it next time. It sounds like so. Yeah. Is it like? I guess I have a hard time understanding what it's like. Is it similar to the Titanfall pistol that like auto locks on? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's like exactly like that. Yeah, that hardline move or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's like a kill streak basically.
Well, in the first one, it was just like a regular pistol that you started with, I thought, or something. Maybe it was a pickup. I can't remember.
Oh, there is a thing. There is a thing in Titanfall 2, at least, where it's kind of like a kill streak where you get this pistol that tracks.
That might have been the same one, and they just realized it was OP and changed it to a more of a streak, something you had to work for or whatever. I need to pick that up. I need to try it. But I also, one thing I like, is there 2 different modes in the game? Frank, you got to play quite a bit more after I got off today, because I noticed that, like, the game that we won, we never heard anything about, like, the golden crown.
It was a crown. It was a crown, but we didn't win by getting the crown.
I don't ever remember, like, maybe we were just too balls deep in gunfights.
No, I think that we killed the other team before the crown had a chance to spawn.
Okay, I didn't know if there was, like, if it had, like, core battle royale and then also, like, a crown mode or what. That's my thing, is, like, I've always thought, like, battle royales are fun, especially when they're fresh, because there's new weapons, there's a new map, there's a little bit different mechanics to play around with and everything. But eventually, after you've won, a handful of matches with your buds, it's like same shit, different day, every match. And that's when I start getting, especially these days, whenever you've played 40 different battle royales, it's like, I hope that these games start coming out with alternate game modes of some sort, at least,
So I imagine that's going to happen probably pretty quickly. I think that there might be 2 different game modes, and it only tells you that it's the crown one whenever it's a crown one. The other one, it doesn't say anything. But I know that there's a lot of matches, because I played for about 8 hours today. There were a lot of matches where it didn't say the crown mode thing.
Right.
Other ones where it did. Yeah, another thing, if people somehow get a drop in the next 10, 12 days until it goes official or whatever, to quickly upgrade your weapons, don't just keep trying to find the same weapons over and over again. Look for the crates, because whenever you pop open a crate, you're going to get one of your hack abilities or a weapon that might be upgraded completely or might just barely be upgraded.
Oh, really? So every time you bust a crate, it drops one item that you're already holding? Guaranteed?
No, not that you're already holding. It'll drop a new one, a different item that you may or may not be holding, but it might be fully...
Oh, you're saying you just have a
already.
Chance of already getting... Yeah, true.
Yeah, so...
I know that's been the few times that I've actually dropped my comfort weapons, my comfort zone weapons. If I crack a crate and then there's like a fully kitted whatever, I'm like, maybe we try that out, and then that's made me... It's changed my play style. I was like, well, maybe I'm going to go for this gun this time and try to actually kit it out. Because I know the first few matches I played, I totally forgot that, like, the point of the game was picking up multiple of the same thing to upgrade it. And I remember thinking, like, all the guns in this game are garbage. There's too much health, and this game sucks, And because I think I think it's by design, all the guns are supposed to be, like, basically utter shit until you start leveling them up, which I kind of like.
They're really, really bad.
Yeah.
And they don't always just, like, increase mag capacity, then it's increased damage, then it's increased damage. It's like
it's different attributes as it goes.
Each different one upgrades differently.
I think that's a really smart way to keep the gameplay going too. Like you can't really, you can camp if you want to, but if you're not like getting lucky and finding a fully kitted weapon or stumbling upon dead bodies somehow safely that aren't already looted and there's not people, in the area, like you're gonna, it basically forces you to get out and scavenge, otherwise you're screwed. So I think it's a creative way of doing that.
I saw something somewhere where one of the devs was talking about how they wanted to design it in such a way where there were no down moments, where it was just you were actually playing the whole time. And they did that really smartly too, because also when you die, you get to still walk around as sort of like this ghost, and you have to walk to a spawn point where you can be revived. And while you're doing that, you can also tag enemies for your teammates still.
And talk to your teammates.
And talk to your teammates. So you're like always having something to do. There's no times where you're just watching somebody and hoping that they'll get to a respawn point or whatever.
I found myself.
We found out.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. I found myself multiple times like dying, and then be like, oh god, because like you forget. You're just so used to.
You're so used to other games.
Yeah, just like chilling. Like, well, I guess I'm done for 10 minutes, 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
So I probably played like an extra 12 or 14 matches whenever you guys were doing your thing. And I found like as soon as you die, you go into like you turn like a ghost or whatever until you get re-sleeved or brought back again.
Re-sleeved, I like that.
That's why I picked my character. He's the fucking Takashi from whatever.
Dude, imagine if you can get a pink backpack in the game, in the like battle pass.
Shh.
What? Spoilers?
Maybe.
I don't think he's like episode 1. He has the pink backpack, dude.
In the
season
first one?
Yeah.
In season 1?
Move on.
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah. So, but if your teammates kill an opponent, a respawn starts where they die, so that way you can get over there quickly, respawn from there, and you can pick up their weapons and their hacks. And then we found out the best thing to do really isn't to jump in to the action. It isn't to go too far away or to go too close. Don't go to the named areas. Go to like little blocks of houses so you can get a bunch of loot and maybe some crates quicker on to upgrade your shit first.
It's rough going to any named. I mean, and that's just our personal skill level too. You know, there's probably some people out there that you know, are good enough to just hot drop like that, but man, it's rough. It just seems like it's such a, I don't know, a flip of the coin whenever it comes down to gunfights when no one really has anything leveled up yet, because everything does, it seems like such low damage before you have stuff leveled up. Other than the three, I forget the name of the three like barreled
Skybreaker
plasma.
Skybreaker.
Yeah, Skybreaker. The Skybreaker hits for like 80 if you get a decent shot near someone. So you can like really mess people. Yeah, you can really mess people up early on with that thing. That's my go-to. Is I do the Skybreaker and then it's like Pilot 1 or 1 Pilot or something. The
revolver
pistol.
Sniper rifle. Oh
no,
the
yeah,
Riot
the pistol.
one.
Yeah, the Riot one. Yeah. I either go Riot 1 or the LMG. Just and basically what I do, because the reload is really really long on the plasma rifle, the plasma launcher. So you have to like basically I launch it and then it also takes a while for it to hit, and you have to hope that they're close to something. I mean, it's a pretty difficult weapon to use, obviously relying on splash damage. And then I just switch to my secondary and hope I can finish them off.
One thing that we go ahead.
Go for it. I didn't have anything to say.
Yeah. Well, so we've talked about the weapons. We haven't talked about the hacks yet.
I've got something to say.
So
go ahead.
You can turn into the big bouncy ball, and you can be invincible for a while, and you can kind of scoot and get the hell out of the way. And then you can drop these mines that are, as soon as they're my favorite. As soon as somebody's within proximity, those mines will float towards them and explode.
What? See, I've never even seen one go off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been spamming like hella. Like, and then there's a healing ring, and then there's invisibility. There's the teleport, which I've had maxed out at like 4, but I still haven't really figured out exactly how the teleport. I haven't even
tried it.
Point, and I think it shoots you there.
It goes where you point, so you can point up or whatever. It doesn't just move you in the way you're moving.
Yeah, and then there's the slam, and then the walls, to build up the walls, which is can be really tactical, but it can be
annoying as hell.
Yeah.
So with the mines, is there a max
at all?
Is there like a max you can have deployed with the mines, and then they start like despawning, or is it a time?
No, well, I think I haven't figured that out yet, but I always constantly spam them. Like if I'm in a building or anything
every
like
time
that,
the cooldown's done,
I
pop
always,
another one.
Yeah, that's what I've been spamming a lot of those.
So my complaint about the hacks is so many of them are defensive. You've got teleport, invis, the ball, the wall, obviously the armor. Is there any others?
Health.
I mean, I guess you could count health. Health is like you have to deploy it and then sit in it. So like, I mean, I guess it's still technically, but I feel like they're all so defensive. I mean, you could even say the ground slam is, anytime I have ground slam and I'm like in the shit and I'm in trouble, I just pop that because you just shoot to the top of the map and it kind of gets you out of the hell for a while, you know. And then you can even try to land. You can just try to go land on a building instead of trying to ground pound people. But I feel like, and I noticed already from the course of the day. So listeners out there, this is the first day again that this was available. I think the NDA lifted 11 a.m. this morning for us Central Time. And through the course of the day, I was starting to note, like, first couple hours, like, no one was really using any of the defensive moves. And then later on, it was like, you get in a gunfight, they'd pop a teleport, they'd pop an invis, they'd, turn into a ball or pop their shield and just run to the closest bounce portal or whatever. And it started getting annoying already. And I really have a feeling, unless they nerf some of these defensive moves, I think they're cool, but there's so many that are defensive, and they're all pretty OP from my perspective, at least. I think it's just going to turn into one of those games where it's going to be like Fortnite. Like, Fortnite was so much fun until people figured out how to speed build towers, and just every time you did the slightest damage to somebody, they were just like, bloop, built a fucking tower, and it takes you right out of the firefight, and it's discouraging, in my opinion. I didn't want to play that shit. So I'm hoping something similar doesn't happen to this.
A lot of people spam the crap out of the walls, and then I was playing by myself to try to figure out some stuff before I popped on with Orange, and there was I got stuck in a house. I was looting some shit, and then all three of the motherfuckers had the ball, and there were balls
but that was
inside
fun.
the building. But like, because you can't shoot them or kill them, it's whenever they get out of the ball, then you can hit them, and they're just sitting there just bouncing around like the first floor. I mean, people are gonna exploit and fuck around and have fun. But I've been having fun with it. I think it's something.
It's fun for sure.
Definitely have to be in a squad.
Yeah.
You definitely have to have 3 people.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really just hoping it doesn't turn from a fun casual experience to like a overwhelming sweaty meta fuckfest. I don't know. Like, I think one thing that could really help with all these games is just have a ranked and a social. You know what I mean? Like, have that mode where everybody can go in and just kind of dick around and not take it as seriously, and go and then have your ranked playlist where people get what's it called, where you get matched based on your skill level, whatever that's called, skill-based matchmaking. Sure,
ELO or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. We'll see, man.
Electric Light Orchestra.
ELO.
Okay.
My favorite band, dude.
Any other news in the gaming industry about, I don't know,
prices?
Ah!
Yeah, on the one hand, Hyperscape is free to play. On the other hand, the new it came out today that the new NBA game, and it's not definite that like this is going to be the same for everybody, but the new NBA game on the new gen consoles, the Series X and the PS5, is going to be $70, and it is not going to like have the smart delivery system like applied to it. So if you buy the fucking Xbox One version or the PS4 version, you don't get access to the PS5/Xbox X version. If you want to do that, and you play across both, that's $100. You have to buy the Mamba Forever Edition. It has one of Kobe Bryant's toenails in it.
God.
Disgusting. And like, I feel like everybody knew this was going to happen when Microsoft was like, you don't have to do smart delivery. We're not going to make people do this. We're going to make it an optional thing. Something that people can do for their games. And of course, the first person to piss everybody off with it is EA. Like, there's no other way it could have possibly happened.
Because EA was probably sitting at that board meeting or whatever when they brought up the whole like, hey, maybe we should like just make this across the board decision that all the titles purchased should now, grant access on the next gen console. And EA was like, hold on a second. How are we supposed to sell our shit sports games on a yearly basis? And
stroke their mustaches.
Dude, and I hate criticizing EA as like a blanket statement, because there's some, you've got like Respawn working under them now, and they're putting out like really quality shit in a really good way. Obviously it doesn't apply to all those games, but just as a whole, man, EA does some really questionable shit.
You know what? Hold on, I pulled this up. I'm wrong. It's the NBA 2K series. So actually, it's 2K who's doing this.
2K21. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm an idiot. Sorry.
So we just shit all over EA for nothing.
I was just so excited to shit on EA. It's so much fun.
No, but I just read there's a thing on Slashdot right now that says fuck EA.
Dude,
But that's how that's how bad you have treated your customers in the past. Whenever something shitty happens, and you
They assume
automatically
it's you.
exactly.
You remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right? When they got their
Familiar.
golden tickets and Slugworth always just like happened to be there. All over the world. There's like a few tickets in the US and there's like one in like Sweden or whatever, and Slugworth just happened to be there, and he'd pop over and like whisper like, "Hey, steal the everlasting gobstopper for me," right? I had a similar experience at EA. Okay? I was there. It's what it felt like to me. I don't know why I've always thought of this, but
Did some man want you to
essentially
give you
okay.
your
So
gobstopper?
Give me.
Did
I
he
want
ask
to
for
hear
your gobstoppers? Melt in your mouth? All right, go ahead.
So I'm at EA. I think to play. It was we were there for like 2 games. I think it was Need for Speed, one of the Need for Speeds, and maybe a Battlefield title. And we were at one of the EA headquarters, Redwood, maybe I think. And we're sitting in there playing the game. We've been playing it for a few hours, and somebody like comes into the room, and like comes over to me, and he's like, "Hey, would you be okay to like come into the other room and, you know, just answer a few questions, just take, you know, a little survey type thing, just take a little bit." And I was like, all right, like, sure, I don't care. I was already bored of playing the broken ass, like, it was a super early version of Need for Speed, and like you'd be racing like halfway through the little mission or whatever and fall through the map. I'm like, yeah, fuck this, anything to get out of this, I'm great.
Sure.
And so I go into this room, and they show me like a presentation. I wish I could remember more of it. They show me like a presentation and then started asking me questions. There was like 2 or 3 people in the room. They had like their little notepad and they're writing down everything I said. And they were just asking me all these questions about advertising. It was like, how do you feel about advertising in games? Like, how do you feel about like having to watch an ad to unlock cool content and stuff like that? And I just felt like so, I don't know, just I feel like they took me and they isolated me, and they asked me scary questions, and I was afraid to answer them wrong. And
Careful.
I've never told anyone this before. I was just scared. Okay, guys, I needed a friend and I didn't have one, and I feel like I'm the reason that they put microtransactions in Battlefront. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been living with this.
You're gonna get fucking John Wilkes Booth right now.
Before I even knew that, I had already blamed you.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. But I just
remember
feel like
playing.
that guy was Slugworth, and he took me in the other room and tried to get me to steal the fucking gobstopper. Anyways, go ahead.
I was playing. I love the Wipeout series, the Wipeout racing games on the PlayStation. And I was playing the one that came out on the PS3 like a hell of a long time ago. And whenever you would load into a match, in the loading screen, it would show you an ad. So like while it was loading, I just kept getting. I remember getting a ton of ads for the Honda Fit. The Fit is go, y'all. And it was fucking irritating because
So you
had
want
to
an
sit through one of
apology
these
is what you're asking.
No.
I'm sorry.
But I started to play the game at a different point in time when I didn't have an internet connection, and I realized that the levels were loading a hell of a lot faster because I didn't have to sit through a fucking commercial.
Oh my god, yeah.
The way they were couching it, it was not like your after the ad is over, the level will play. It's like it had a loading bar, and the bar would not complete until the ad had completed.
So you just thought that it was like a normal thing.
I just thought that, I thought that was the time it took.
So the next time that they do that on the next gen consoles, and they ever do that, it's going to be listening to your fucking phone and playing targeted goddamn ads, and you have to watch the goddamn targeted ads before your fucking racing game will load.
That's right.
Oof.
Shit, I just gave them an idea if they hadn't already fucking thought of it.
It's the future.
Before you can respawn in your next battle royale. You gotta watch the ad.
Other companies that just kind of keep shitting in it, we talked about it last episode. Bethesda, have you guys heard of any news about Bethesda today?
News today, no.
Today, I don't think so, no.
We did discuss the possibility of starting a Fallout 76 village.
I saw
We're
a
gonna do
Fallout
that.
It's on Game Pass now.
Yeah, I saw the tweet about that.
Yeah. we're gonna make a village in '76 for our Gravy Wheels listeners. But also, you
On
guys didn't hear
console.
about the Fallout TV show?
No, what?
Today Amazon and Bethesda have announced that they're gonna be doing a fucking Fallout TV show with the people that created fucking Westworld.
What?
All right.
I can get down with it, but I don't, man. It's just like
I'm down for that. What I
you're
like
also
about
down for a Slugworth type guy, wanting to suck your fucking gab stoppers.
his whispers were enticing. That's all I can say.
Trying to stop your gobs.
That's right. Dude, I watched have you guys seen so it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the first one, and then Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the Johnny Depp one.
I think you've got it flipped, maybe.
I don't know.
No.
Either way.
No. I think you're right. I fucking don't know.
Have you
Who
seen the
cares?
Johnny Depp version?
Yes, I think.
Yikes. First of all, I didn't know that came out like right around the year we graduated, I think. And I did not know. I thought that was like more recent. I don't know. Anyways, I finally watched it just like not too long ago, a few days ago, and absolute dog shit. A complete insult to the original.
It's terrible.
I've heard
I've
so
seen
many
it.
people say like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad. It was just a little, like Johnny Depp's a little weird in it." Like, no, that movie was fucking bad. We literally watched the first one, the original, and then watched that one afterwards, and I was like, "Fuck this movie."
No.
All
There's no
the way.
comparison.
Yeah, it's so
two
bad.
of my exes really love that movie, so I've watched that movie probably 4 times with 2 different exes. And I don't remember shit about it because I remember it was so horrible.
You
With
just
one of
get
the
loaded?
girls, I'd get in the fridge and I'd start drinking that fucking Franzia that we always had, just the box wine. And then the other one I would always, because I'd start drinking, I'd have to drink really heavy, and I'd go through with my beer like halfway through the movie. I'd have to like start hitting her fucking raspberry fucking Smirnoff vodka because I couldn't watch it.
The best.
Go ahead.
I want to say the one part of that movie I like is the fact that Deep Roy plays all of the Oompa Loompas.
That's what I was
Yeah.
that was the most distracting
that's-
part about the movie is that
That's
guy
the best part.
because what's the Danny McBride show with baseball? Eastbound and Down.
Yeah.
So remember he played like one of the Mexican gangsters whenever he
Yep.
moved down to Mexico, and I just remember him like
Painting
having a
zebra.
knife and fucking like threatening Danny McBride. I think at like one point whenever they like break ways or whatever, and that's all. Every Oompa Loompa scene, I'm like, how did this happen? They contacted him and they're like, hey, we want you to play Oompa Loompa in the new and he was like, oh cool, which Oompa Loompa? Like who else is gonna be an Oompa Loompa? And they were like, no, you're
Yes.
all.
You're gonna play Yes Oompa
You
Loompa.
are every Oompa Loompa in the new movie, and that like every time there was an Oompa Loompa scene, I was just like, how much did he make? Like they better have paid him like half of what Johnny Depp made to play every single fucking Oompa Loompa in that movie.
I have no idea. I remember seeing behind the scenes footage of that though, where they were like filming those scenes where there'd be like a whole bunch of Oompa Loompas dancing in like a chorus line, and it's literally
Just him
doing the
in front of
same
a green
scene
screen.
50 fucking times.
Oh,
He's
I just
standing in
figured
slightly
they-
different positions.
Yeah,
It's not even CG. It's like composites.
God, I just figured they taped him doing it once and then looped it in different spots. That would be terrible. I hope he got hooked up. Good for him. Yeah, I hope he made
Me
bank
too.
working alongside Johnny Depp in that terrible ass movie. It was disgusting.
What would you say your favorite movie is?
Like ever,
Sure.
Willy Wonka. I don't know, man. I don't know if I have a favorite movie. It's kind of like I have the same answer whenever people ask me like, "What's your favorite video game?" It's a hard answer because you can't compare Super Mario World to fucking Halo.
Yeah, you can.
Sure you can.
You could, but I just feel like nah. I don't know. I've got a lot of favorites, so
Yeah, but we got 30 minutes to fill, baby.
Your top
got-
3 favorite movies.
top 3. Boom.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's so on the spot. Go to Frank.
No, but
I gotta think.
okay, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
All right.
Black Rain. You guys ever remember that one?
Never seen it.
Michael Douglas, where he goes to Japan to his partner was killed because the Yakuza was had presses from the mint to like make counterfeit bills, and his partner was killed, and then he went to Japan to try to find the killer, and it.
Is that
have not?
Is it no? It sounds kind of familiar. Is that like kind of a cyberpunk sort of deal?
No, it's if you think modern '80s Japan was cyberpunk.
Okay, fair
But
enough.
I mean, it was kind of like a nitty gritty, dark kind of movie. That was a good one.
Sounds solid.
It's a Ridley Scott movie too. So.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you can check that one out. And it's called Black Rain because after Nagasaki and Hiroshima, one of the Yakuza guys talks about after what America did and this and that they would have black rain, like the acid rain fall down on them and shit. Another top movie would probably be. I'm just gonna start listing off Michael Douglas movies, but Falling Down. Falling Down was a great movie. I like Falling Down. Yeah. It's a guy who fucking breaks, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess Children of Men will always be one of my top favorite movies of all time.
It's a great
answer.
flick.
That's a good answer.
It's really solid.
That is a nice one.
I think about that scene all the time where they're in the car, like
Dude.
how well that's
such a good scene. It just goes from like everything's great to holy shit that just happened.
Yeah, basically.
And then you don't
like,
even realize
also
the epicness until you watch it again and really pay attention to how it was filmed.
There's a really cool like behind the scenes featurette that they did for that scene where so it all takes place inside of a car, and the camera is also in the car, and every time somebody's not on screen, because the camera is moving around in 360 degrees as this is happening, every time somebody is not on screen, they have like moved physically out of the way of the camera so that it can be in their spot, and it's like really well choreographed and like.
Can't imagine how many times they had to. Well, I think that's like the second or third time we've referenced Children of Men on this podcast. So, listeners, if you haven't watched Children of Men, like, by all means, go watch that movie. It is fantastic.
You won't regret it.
Yeah.
Do you think anything, Joe?
Dude, I have to say Jurassic Park. And I know that sounds like a child answer, but like, still to this day, I don't remember if it was you guys or somebody else I was talking to, but even to the standards of 2020, if you go back and watch that movie, all the dinosaur scenes in that movie are fairly convincing. There's a couple CG moments, like the opening moment where like the big Brontosaurus or whatever are like walking through the lake. Like it's a little noticeable these days, but the majority of the dinosaurs in that movie were animatronic, and they look fucking legit. Like, if you go back and watch that movie in 2020, it fucking holds up. And it blows your mind that it even holds up, because half the monster movies that come out these days are just like, this looks like shit, you know?
That's the really magic of fucking practical effect, man.
Yeah, it's just... Well, I remember 6 months ago or so, Jesus, I went back and kind of marathoned the Jurassic Park movies. I think it was before one of the new... Jurassic Worlds came out. I wanted to watch the originals. And I got to the third one, and the third one is where they made like the huge CG transition. The Spinosaurus in that movie, go back and watch Jurassic Park 3. The Spinosaurus is the cheesiest fucking shit ever. Or maybe that's maybe because the second one I think had a fair amount of CG in it, but the third one they like tried to have an animatronic Spinosaurus in it, but it was like a different different like special effects department that did it, and it just looked fucking terrible. Like all the scenes where the Spinosaurus is attacking the airplane after it crashes, just total dog shit. But another top movie of mine would have to. It was what?
I was gonna say it was just really rough there in the late 90s, early 2000s when people were transitioning to predominant CG effects. It was fucking bad.
And CG was still new, and then they would mix it with animatronics, but it was The other one I think I have to say Jaws too, just because it was such a like iconic. Like no one really realized they were scared of the water until you watch that movie. And it doesn't really hold up as well as like the Jurassic Park conversation goes, as far as like, you know, some of the shark scenes in that movie are kind of cheesy, but it's was just a great movie. And I always think about too, like now having kids, my son a lot of times like just the most random stuff, like the way that you walk while you're like grocery shopping and then you look and your like son is like copying you to the T. I don't know if you've ever had those moments, Andrew, but I always think of that scene in Jaws where they're sitting there having dinner and his son is like he's all stressed out and like doing stuff like this with his hands, and he looks over and his boy is doing the same stuff, like just copying him, you know. And I always loved that moment. That was like totally, you know, not about being scared of a shark, but yeah, just a good
Jaws. I think Jaws still works. You can still watch it.
Oh yeah, for sure,
and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Those are like my top two, and then there's a bunch of like, you know, Tarantino flicks that I could mention. Like I wanted to say Pulp Fiction, but I don't even remember the last time I've seen that, so I don't know. But there is still like a lot of iconic, you know, like the where he accidentally blows off the dude's face in the car, and just Sam Jackson and John Travolta in any capacity together is pretty awesome. That whole movie is a lot of good. Bruce Willis, you know, getting violated by Ned. A lot of good moments in that movie. Marcellus Wallace, does he look like a
great
bitch?
Moment.
You know, I mean,
Zed.
I feel like it's such a cop-out answer, but yeah.
Zed.
Not Ned.
Whose bike? What did she say? Where'd you get this bike?
Zed's dead, baby.
Who's Zed? Zed's dead, baby.
Would have been really Ned's dead, and she's like, oh shit, they killed off Ned Flanders in The Simpsons.
No, not Flanders, the nice religious neighbor. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. American History X. We'll throw that one in there. Blow.
You're getting off topic here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You started strong and you've faded away.
Land Before Time. Andrew, your turn.
All 1 through 36. Yeah. Did you know that there's that many of those movies? Like, I'm legit. I had no idea. I thought there was one as a kid.
There's a lot.
There's
a shit ton. My all-time favorite movie, this is easy, and it's my go-to, is John Carpenter's The Thing. It's...
The shit, do you guys see what we have to fucking deal with?
I am so sorry.
Did you see how respectful me and Frank were when Joey was talking about his movies? And I can't even get through explaining why I like my favorite movie of all time without Joey shitting all over it with his massive like mouth fart.
Oh God, I've been holding that in. All right, I'm so sorry. Proceed.
Well, you were talking about practical effects earlier, and like The Thing is another reason. It's like it's a movie that was made in the early 80s, and it like still fucking holds up because those effects are incredible.
The whippy tendrils and shit, like
Yeah.
that was
One that sticks out in my mind with that in mind, I know you still got two more to say, is Alien. I always think of that one too, as far as special effects and actually holding up pretty well.
So yeah, Alien is another one on my list. Like that, Alien and The Thing are two of the only movies I can think of that I would legitimately think of as perfect. Like I don't think you can make those movies better. They're just as good as they can possibly be. Put your fucking phone down.
I'm looking up stuff because
But
I
you know
can't.
what's funny?
I can't look up stuff on the internet like you guys can on my computer because I'm recording the.
Oh, sure, that's right.
Go ahead.
No, go on, Frank. What were you saying?
No, it's
79.
funny that it's funny that Dr. Disrespect has been fucking canceled, and are you taking over the Dr. Disrespect fucking throne here, Joey? It's fucking ridiculous.
What?
Because you're being disrespectful.
We don't even know what he did yet. How dare? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, but
It's
being
just
so disrespectful.
It's purely a joke on the name.
1979, Frank, is when Alien came out. That's absurd.
Okay. All right,
Absurd.
Andrew, you were saying.
holds up.
You were saying, Andrew,
No.
you were saying.
Take your nub off your mouth, first of all. I cannot concentrate when you're doing that. Oh, we have derailed. Oh, God.
And for a third one, I don't know. There's like a whole lot of stuff that could fit into that third spot, but those first two are pretty ironclad for me. For the last one, I'd say maybe like Suspiria maybe belongs up there.
Haven't seen that.
Observe and Report. I'd maybe put up there. I fucking love Observe and Report.
You mean Paul Blart?
No, the good Paul Blart.
I thought that was the good security guard movie.
God, don't make me do this to you.
Is that one of those scenarios where like the script leaked during production or pre-production or whatever? Or, like one studio wouldn't buy it, and then they said, "Fuck it, we'll write our own," and then they just like changed it to a PG-13 flick or something. Because that happens all the time. Idea.
They came out at like the same time, yeah. But Observe and Report is like a lot more subversive and shit than Paul Blart is. It's a lot. It's grosser.
A lot to, yeah.
Because it's made by the same guy that made Eastbound and Down.
Runner-ups.
Did not know.
Runner-ups.
Yeah, Jody Hill.
I bet another movie that Andrew probably liked. I don't know if he did or not, but it had really good practical effects, where they had a typewriter that was like a beetle, and you would type into it, and then you would they would lick the ooze from the
Naked Lunch, baby.
Naked Lunch. You guys made me watch that in high school. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, I'm not doing any drugs, so I'm not enjoying this.
That was when I was the only one doing drugs.
I was going through my Cronenberg phase at the time, so I was like, we're going to watch Videodrome, we'll watch Naked Lunch, we'll watch like all this shit. And
or maybe it was Videodrome.
Videodrome also has great effects.
I don't remember which. I think I remember the writer, like the main character was like a writer, right? Is that one of them?
Yeah, that's Naked Lunch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's Naked Lunch. And James Woods is the main character in Videodrome.
That's right. Yeah. So I guess you made me watch both of them because I remember James Woods too. I'm getting the two confused. New movies. I watched, what is it? Underwater with the vampire chick.
I want to see that. How did you like it?
It wasn't terrible. It was It was good. I'm not going to say it was like my favorite movie in the world. There was some, I mean, like, I think monster movies are hard to do because there's always that one thing that happens and you're like, really? Why wouldn't they go the other way? Or why wouldn't they, you know what I mean? Something like that. But the monster aspect of it, I thought was really cool. And overall, it was a good flick. It was good. I enjoyed.
When I was seeing trailers for it, I was getting big The Abyss vibes, and I fucking love that movie. So I will say
one movie that it was far better than was that new. What was the Meg? Did you guys see that movie?
No,
couldn't make it through it.
Fuck that movie. I tweeted how shit it was, and I saw so many people trying to be like, dude, it wasn't that bad. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, blah. No, that movie is dog shit. Do not ever waste your time watching The Meg. It was fucking. I kept watching it thinking maybe it'll get better or something. Like, it was the most predictable shit. Every fucking scene, you could be like, that's about to gonna happen, and then it would just fold out exactly how you fucking expect it to. It was fucking dog shit.
Go, Frank. I feel like you're about to say maybe what I'm about to say, but go on.
Like the really shitty sequels to the Tremors movie, then they were fucking dog shit horrible. Those were better than The Meg.
Yeah. Well, because I think
those were fucking shit.
Those movies, shit. I think those went to like the parody. You know what I mean? They
did. They knew what
totally,
they were, and they were all about it.
Yeah, they totally. They were like, well, they didn't really take the first one serious, so we might as well just. It was kind of like Army of Darkness type, like horror comedy style shit, to where it was like you expected it to be dog shit, so you kind of enjoyed it.
Army of Darkness is fucking badass. Don't ever.
I know that's it. No. I know that's like one of your favorite things. So I wasn't trying to.
I was gonna say if I wanted to watch a sort of tongue-in-cheek shark movie, I would just watch Deep Blue Sea for like the 5,000th time.
Deep Blue Sea fucking rocks.
Is that with Ice?
No, that's Cool J.
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J and his fucking parrot, dude. I will fucking watch that shit any day.
Because was he the chef? For the
he was the fucking chef, dude. With his little parrot buddy.
That movie kicks ass.
Yeah, that movie's great. And the Punisher, whatever his name is.
Tom Jane.
Yep. No, yeah, I always like Deep Blue Sea. Like, as far as shark movies go, I mean, there's a handful to begin with, but 99% of them are dog shit. It goes Jaws and Deep Blue Sea are the top two by far. And then after that, fuck everything. Essentially, I don't remember any other shark movie that was worth a damn.
No, I was gonna put Piranha in there. Piranha is pretty fun, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to start throwing
sharks.
Anaconda and shit in there, Andrew, we could talk for days.
There was a deleted scene in Deep Blue Sea. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, where
I don't remember
LL
seeing any of
Cool
them.
J, like at the end of it, LL Cool J. It's not the very end of it, but it's close to it. At the end of it, LL Cool J's like, "There's way too many fucking sharks in this fucking ocean," but it didn't make it into the movie.
Dude, that movie.
Did
was
we all
dog,
go?
dog shit?
Did we all
I
go
think
see
we
that
did.
in theaters when it came out?
I think
I
that
remember
came
I
out-
was really hyped for it.
Let's look
Yeah,
that
we
one
all
up.
went to go see Snakes on a Plane.
I think that was like right at the end of our 2006. So that would have been our sophomore year or our junior year.
And was it? Did we see it? It wasn't like this in the theater whenever we saw it, but whenever they showed it on TV and it was censored, what did he say?
I don't know, but it was terrible because it was so
I can't
obvious
remember. There
what
was-
his mouth was saying. I think they literally
Mother,
changed
father?
it to
I don't
something
know.
like "gosh darn" or something. I'm tired of these gosh darn snakes on this gosh darn plane. It was something so cheesy that it just made you hurt.
It was it was better than that though. It was something really ridiculous.
I'm sick and tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane.
That's right.
I wanted that movie to be good so bad because the concept was pretty cool, but I just feel like they were like, well, we got Samuel L. Jackson, so our CG budget is like $6.50.
That was like one of the first big movies that relied on internet hype to get big. And then it fucking and then it tanked.
On that note, do you remember Cloverfield? Right.
Yeah.
The viral marketing that they did. I remember, like at the time, it blew my mind. The Slusho website, remember?
Yeah, all the ARG stuff.
Dude, that shit was nuts. That was my first memory of like viral online marketing and like trying to figure shit out based on like a trailer, or I think they just leaked the website or however that were. I don't remember, but there was like slusho.com and you could go on there and mess around, and then there was like clues to other websites, and then
They did that for one of the Halo games too.
did they?
Yeah, their ARG was called I Love Bees. It sounds like I'm making that up, but I'm not.
I think I remember
You can
that.
Do a Google search for it. Ask Jeeves to figure it out for you.
Oh. Okay, Jeeves. It didn't work. My phone didn't go off.
Yeah, it was for Halo 2.
Halo
And
dos.
didn't they have like badge stickers that you could put on your character that like had a bee on them too?
There was like a hornet.
Wasn't there?
It looked more like a
Okay.
hornet, but yeah, it was. I think it was because of that though. There was
Maybe, I
references
don't
to it in some shape or form. I remember. What do you keep? Are you like looking out a window, Frank? What is that?
No, it's the fucking fireworks.
Are you gonna be all right, man? Dude, how hot are you
why
right now, Andrew?
So hot. But I'm really happy to be out of the city. I was gonna say I'm just happy to be out of the city, so I don't have to at least hear fireworks all the fucking time now.
For those of you that are listening, not watching, Andrew has literally a sweat rag that every 10 minutes or so.
I've been telling myself off like a Southern lawyer in a.
Like,
you declare, you cannot declare him guilty.
it's like the.
Well,
like the,
my client has a simple case of mistaken identity.
like the school principal that comes over to fuck Forrest Gump's mom so he can pass the grade or whatever. You remember him? And he's like,
I've never-
wiping- he's
That
wiping sweat
wasn't,
on
that
his-
wasn't Forrest Gump. That may have been your real life.
Come on, you guys don't get down with Forrest Gump, bro. It probably was. That was me in 6th grade, dude. If my mom worked something out with that nasty bitch, good for her. God damn, she really took one for the team. You don't remember he comes down the steps and young Forrest is like,
Yeah.
and he's just wiping the sweat off.
Because he's making the noises of what he was
Yeah, 'cause he
mimicking the
sounded
noises he was
ridiculous.
hearing. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, fuck you for just staying silent, Frank. Just acting like I was just saying the most wild. Fuck. God. And yes, that was my mother. Asshole.
No, it was not. But anyways, if you guys, hypothetical question, if y'all had like $1 million and you blew it on like a fancy boat, what would you name your boat? What would you christen your boat as? What would your boat's name be?
First instinct, the Nautilus. Like Nautilus, but spelled naughty and then hyphen list.
I like it. I like it a lot.
What about you?
Titanic 2.
Die Harder.
Did you see that fucking Kevin Hart is making like a spin-off of Die Hard? I couldn't tell if it was I think he's actually doing it. And it's called what's it called?
But hold on, before we go to that though,
Frank?
what's your boat name, Frank?
Yeah, I'll look that up.
I wouldn't, because I wouldn't blow money on a boat. What I would
I
buy.
would never buy a boat.
You didn't give me an option, motherfucker. I wouldn't buy $1 million boat either.
I don't know. I'd probably name it like the Octopussy or something like that.
No, you get sued by Cubby Broccoli.
Die Hard.
Is that the fucking James Bond director?
The Broccoli family owns James Bond, yeah.
Produced by Lowell Studios and Heartbeat Productions.
And you would know that, Andrew. You would know who owns the James Bond films and all their IP, right? Why would you know that? Did you work on a project?
Oh, I did, but I mean that's not even why I know that. I know that because I fucking am obsessed with fellow podcaster Matt Gorley, who does a fucking podcast about James Bond. I've listened to a lot.
Do you ever go back and watch? I know. So growing up, one of the random things, I don't know why, I don't even think my mom's that much of a fan, but we had every single James Bond movie on VHS.
You guys did VHS, yeah. You guys
which
did.
is like, again, like Land Before Time. Let's see. Okay, Google. How many James Bond movies are there?
It's 25, I think.
James Bond includes Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and other
Don't
films.
listen. I need a number. It's a lot, okay?
Shit job. It's in the 20s. I believe it's 25.
least.
It might be 24.
And to have all those on VHS, that takes up some real estate, okay? I don't know if people understand. I don't know if, some of our listeners might not know. Let's be honest. Our demographics are probably at least our age.
26 movies. 26 movies.
Okay.
Including the newer ones. So, yeah. So back then, it was probably like 15 to 20 or something like that. But yeah.
Definitely.
I remember you guys had all that, because you guys had all those, and whenever they were over in Germany, they would dub all those movies. I swear was some of the story.
But those movies, majority of them are dog shit. Like if you go back and watch some of the old ones, they're all so terrible.
Dude,
no, your dog shit is what the thing is.
First of all, give me an estimate how many James Bond movies you've actually seen. Both of you.
Probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, I was to say
Okay.
probably most of them just because of the fact we happen to have all of them, and I did a lot of just staying home and watching movies.
Okay. I think I'm at 24, so
I haven't watched a lot of the most recent ones though, to be honest. I don't. The last one I remember is when he gets hit in the nuts with the rope.
Casino
was a
Royale.
while.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah, that was a
one's
while
fucking
back.
great though.
So what? There's probably been 3 since then. I would say.
Casino Royale, Quantum of
Solace.
Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and then whatever this new one's called, I forget.
Chaser.
Hey, weird question, and this is a conspiracy thing. I don't know how, but I think it is. But going back to your childhood and going back to how things are now, do you guys remember the last time you've seen white dog shit?
No,
No.
I've heard of this phenomenon. Like,
Doesn't
but-
stink, right? Until you microwave it or something.
No, white dog shit that's been sitting out in the sun
What?
and completely.
The sun bleached
Fucking
dog.
Google it.
I know what you're talking
most
about.
of the time, that's one of the main problems when you see white dog shit is you think, how do I make this stink? You go through all the things you You know, you leave it in the sun for a while. You
There's
wrap it
a-
in tinfoil.
There's a movie
You
or a show.
Put it
or
in a
something.
jar and then you can huff it later.
Yeah, you
get
douse
high.
it in ammonia, and
You
then
make me
eventually
lick
you
my dog shit.
eventually you put it in the microwave, and you think, "Thank God, I figured out how to make my dog
I
shit
swear
smell
it's
again."
like it's South Park or Jackass or something.
It's
where they talk
Will
about-
Ferrell. It's Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell on Step Brothers.
Is that
I'm
what
not
it is?
licking any white dog shit. but do you guys remember seeing white dog shit?
I've
No.
seen it
As a
before.
child.
I don't.
Have you seen it in the past decade?
Are you saying that
Government conspiracy.
global
They're spraying
warming?
chemicals.
They probably
Speaking-
just stopped putting like something hilariously toxic in dog food.
probably?
Stop making it with
as-
like fucking
like
asbestos. Yeah.
Asbestos.
Speaking of spraying and dog shit, have you guys ever seen the Jack Black movie Vaporize? Is that the name of the movie? Hold on.
I know what that is that you're talking about, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's not a thing. Is your brain like a Mad Libs book where you're just like famous actor or random bullshit? No.
I
What?
will
No, that's
cut
like-
you.
It's like a spray. It's like a spray that he sprays on dog shit that makes it disappear.
So, it's a movie. Tim Ben Stiller has a chance to invest in Vaporize, the latest harebrained venture by his friend Nick, Jack Black. While the details are sketchy, Nick claims it's a chemical that can make any substance disappear. Not expecting Vaporize to amount to much, Tim declines, only to watch the product become enormously profitable. While Tim's life falls apart, Nick's gets better, leading to an unspoken tension between the pair until the mysterious J-Man, Christopher Walken, gets involved. I don't even remember Christopher Walken being involved.
Fuck.
Let's just say it has an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I've seen it.
Pretty good.
And it's pretty terrible.
What's the name of it?
Envy.
Envy. Yeah.
Oh, that was a horrible movie. I
Yeah.
couldn't stay sober through that one either.
No bueno.
I mean, I'm an alcoholic, but also if something is so bad, I just
Worse than
maybe it gets
Shallow
over
Hal, might I say.
That's like the caliber of movie that you want to watch, though. Like for me, I don't want to see anything that on the tomato meter is between like a 20 and a 70. You can
don't
show me the
wanna-
things that are outside of that range. I want to watch 1 through 20. I want to watch 1 through 19, and I want to watch 80 through 100.
Just to experience
Anything
the bad,
mediocre?
and then-
Fuck it off. Yeah,
Fair enough.
you'll never enjoyed Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Sad.
what other movies are like on that low end of this? I don't even think I've ever seen anything on Rotten Tomatoes less than 10%.
All of your mom's pornos are.
What is your infatuation with my mother?
Dunk. I don't know. I have to go look at it. There's some movies on there. Like The Thing is one of those movies that got rated like it got shat all over when it came out originally.
Really?
So
What's
But-
that? What's that other like Antarctica? There's like it's like a vampire movie or something when it happened, and there's like
30 Days of Night.
There, that's I knew
What?
it had. I always want to say the other movie where he's like 40 days of no sex or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get those two confused, even though they have nothing to do with each other. I
They,
always
well,
think of
they
that
both
whenever I
have
think
Josh
of
Hartnett
anything
in them.
Right? Yeah, but
Whatever happened to him? He
Plot-wise.
was just like.
He's in Penny Dreadful. That's like the most recent thing I've seen.
But
him
he
in.
hasn't. He was like the high school teen girls and college girl like heartthrob forever, and then he just walked out of acting. Basically,
He's probably like, I got $40 million and I'm gonna chill now.
I gotta blame him.
That's what I would do. YOLO.
So he was in what else? He was also in Sin City, right? But I guess Sin City at this point is like 15 years old.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember watching all of Sin City because it just wasn't like my thing.
It's sad for you.
I'm sorry.
Do you guys remember?
I've also never seen Kill Bill.
Okay, Tarantino head over here.
I know. That's why I claim to be a Tarantino fan. I've never seen Kill Bill. All like fucking what? There's like 3 of them. At least 2.
Jackie
So,
Brown's the best. Jackie Brown's the best Quentin Tarantino movie. Don't
Jackie
argue
Brown's
with me.
good.
Jackie Brown's awesome.
Frank, is that double stuffed Oreos on top of your Pepsi cooler?
Fuck yeah, man. It was what I was having for snacks today when I was gaming all day. I had Supreme Pizza from the joint last night.
Supreme Pizza and double stuffed
fucking
Oreos, the Frank diet. I like it.
It's
pretty good.
my first day off in a long time.
You
It's good you got
enjoy it.
veggies in there.
Yeah. All that Crisco
Yeah.
mixed with sugar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to call it wraps for today, unless Frank has something to end it on here.
No, I think it's Andrew's turn.
Andrew's turn.
Oh, the
for
word,
last,
sure.
The
But-
word of the bird.
But thank you to Javelin for letting us use your song. Soda
For sure.
Popinski for our theme. It's just a slap a lap a ding dong. Anything else you got?
Thank
Follow
you to
us
some
on
of our
socials.
newer listeners.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna try to be a little more active on there, get some viewer interaction. You guys listen to this, get on our social media
Let us know.
pages, and give us something to talk about.
Yes.
Give us topics. 'Cause
Something to figure out. So we'll do this. Now you can see how that's going.
Yes. There it is. Let's go.
Down here too.
I think the word to end on is sweat.
Perspiration.
Antiperspirant.
Properspirant.